Hello everyone, welcome to Obsidian Soft. Today we are going to be learning how to interact with a servo motor using an Arduino board. If you have not watched our first Arduino tutorial, then I highly recommend you do that. This tutorial also includes Scratch programming, so if you don't know how to program in Scratch, then consider checking out our Scratch programming series. So without further ado, let's get started. So first, what is a servo? Well, a servo is a tiny motor which you can accurately turn to any angle. Servos are best used in RC, such as in planes and cars, and they are also used to make robots. Of course, these are just two examples, but there is much more you can do with servos. They also range in size, from tiny servo motors such as the one I have, which are 9 grams, or to huge ones which are used in big projects. So what you're going to need for this tutorial is of course your Arduino board, its connecting wire, the servo motor, and 3 wires to connect the servo motor to your Arduino. These should ideally have a pin on each end. Now let's connect our servo to our Arduino. As you can see in this up-close shot of the servo motor wire, every servo has 3 wires. They usually have a red wire, a brown wire, and a yellow wire, but these can range in colors. So if you don't know how to connect it, you can always search online. The red wire is the power input, the brown wire is the ground wire, and the yellow wire is the control wire, which tells your servo which angle to move to. So now let's connect all 3 of our connecting wires to the servo wires. And now let's connect them to the Arduino. The red wire, also known as the power input, goes to the 5-volt pin, as you can see over here. The brown wire, also known as the ground wire, goes to the ground pin on Arduino. And the yellow wire goes to any of the PWM pins on our Arduino. Now PWM means pulse width modular, and it is basically the Arduino's way of sending data to the servo. On the Arduino Uno, the PWM pins are 3, 5, 6, 9, 10 and 11. If you have a different Arduino board, be sure to look online to see which pins on it are the PWM pins. If you look closely on my board, it also has a small squiggly line in front of the pins to show which ones are the PWM pins. You can connect your control wire to any of these pins. So I'm going to connect it to pin number 3. Now let's plug in our Arduino and start coding. After connecting your Arduino to your computer using its connecting wire, we can open up PictoBlocks. If you have not watched the first Arduino episode, PictoBlocks is basically a software built on Scratch to program Arduinos. To connect our board, let's go up to the board section, click on it and choose the Arduino. Now let's click on connect and choose our Arduino's connection port. And that's it. The Arduino is now connected. Now before coding on the Arduino using PictoBlocks, be sure to click the upload firmware button, as the Arduino won't work without it. Now let's start coding. To control the servo, we have to go down to the actuators section. Here you can see all the different blocks used to control motors. The block we are going to be using is the servo motor block. You have to remember the PWM pin which you connected your control wire to, as you need to choose it over here. Since I chose 3, I will click it here. Now as you can see, we can choose the angle using this. Now let's create a simple loop to see our servo in action. So let's go to the event section and choose when green flag clicked to start our loop. Now let's go to the control section and choose the forever loop, since we want it to repeat forever. Now we can get our servo block and place it into the forever loop. And now we can click the green flag. As soon as you click the green flag, you should see the servo motor move. Now you can click on the angle input section of the block and it will show you a button slider. You can use the slider to change the value of the angle and the servo motor should move along with it. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? Here, I'm creating a simple code to move my servo to one direction, then the other direction. Now, as you can see, when I run this code, the servo motor immediately moves to one angle and then the angle opposite to it. Now, the great thing about servos is that you can precisely control which angle it goes to. So they are great if you want to move parts in your project, such as a robotic arm. This is the main difference between a servo motor and normal motors. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe and share this with other people who are interested in Arduinos and programming. Thank you for watching this short tutorial. Goodbye.